Should we still believe in the possibility that the Snyderverse can be restored? This past weekend was the full circle event, SnyderCon 2023, some call it, but this was the time. This was the moment that everybody was waiting for, was hoping to hear an announcement that Zack Snyder would be back in the DCU, fulfilling everyone's dream of completing his Snyderverse arc. Yet there was no such announcement. And not only that, but only, as always, cryptic and just incomplete, unfulfilled promises and hints that it could come back. And I'm sorry, but that, to me, that's a bit of an issue there. Because, as I've said, I want the Snyderverse to be restored. I want it to be completed. But right now, we have such a divide in the DC fandom that it's made it not fun to be a DC fan. And that is a problem. A problem that Zack Snyder himself, Zack, he could have helped. But he doesn't. What he does is he continues to give people ideas of things that they could be doing or could want to do in the future in regards to his DC films and story. Let's take this for instance. He talks about how at one point in time they were considering making the Amazons Kryptonians or of Kryptonian heritage, making Zeus a Kryptonian, specifically one of the ones that was in the crashed ship in Man of Steel. To me, that is just a terrible idea. But what he does, and Zack is brilliant at this, he gives people these ideas and he keeps pushing these thoughts and scenarios where they latch onto this stuff and they start running with it. Because let's be honest, that is a terrible, terrible idea. Then you have Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, Ray Porter. You had a whole bunch of people show up to this event, and they were asked questions and were able to discuss what was coming or what could be coming. One of the questions was to Ben about his Batman film and how he was saying, oh, I very much wanted to get the villain or villains right, and that's kind of where I had the problem in getting that all figured out. But then there's also the discussion where they start talking about the possibility of what could come with the Joker and how the Joker plays into the nightmare sequences and how they can't tell us anything because you never know. And that's a problem. That is a problem. Because here's the thing. I truly do enjoy the Snyderverse. But what I don't enjoy are the fans. I don't enjoy the way they treat one another. I don't enjoy the way they're treating James Gunn or David Zaslav or the studio, because they have nothing to do with what happened with Snyder. They have nothing to do with what is going on with the Snyderverse. They talk about plans to explore Darkseid and to understand why he couldn't find Earth again. Look, all of these things, all of these ideas and discussions, this full circle event was all about celebrating Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League. But what this turned into ammunition for the Snyder boys. And mind you, the Snyder boys are different than the Snyder fans. Snyder fans, I consider myself a Snyder fan. I'm hopeful, but understanding that it's not going to happen, at least not how we want it. But you have those Snyder boys who do nothing but spew hate, anger, toxicity constantly. And it's this crap that simply just it just adds fuel to the fire, and Zach should know better. But again, he does know better because he's doing it on purpose. I think it was a bad look having Ray Fisher there because he's one of the big proponents of pushing the hatred and anger and toxicity. But that's another story for another day. Here's my thing. Honestly, let's get down to it here, okay? Will the Snyderverse be restored? I don't know. Not a single person on the internet knows. There's people out there, you got Sil Abdul, Mikey Sutton, and so many others that will sit there and try and tell you Snyder Cut's coming. Hell, Sil Abdul tried to say that there was going to be an announcement at the event, and there was no announcement. Mikey Sutton said Gal Gadot was going to be there. He also said that they were going to announce the Emerald cut of the Zack Snyder's Justice League, the one with the Green Lantern scene added into it. You see, these grifters are just trying to use you for their own reward. So they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know if there's going to be a Snyderverse restoration. I honestly don't think it's going to happen. That's not to say that it won't. But I don't think it should. Because at this point, there's so much negativity and toxicity from that fandom that you're giving a tantruming baby the thing they want, and it won't stop there. You give them Justice League 2 and 3, they want the Batfleck movie. You give them the Batfleck movie, they want the Ayer cut. You give them the Ayer cut, they want this. You give them that, you give them that. That's all that's going to happen. So no, I don't think it should. I don't think they should restore it. At least not in live action. I am still on the hashtag animate the Snyderverse. Because I think that is the most feasible way of completing it. You do that. And let's say it's a big hit. If you do it quick enough and it's a big hit, then do it in live action. What the hell? Why not? Why not? Let me know your thoughts. Do you truly believe, without a doubt, do you truly believe that the Snyderverse will be restored? Do you think anything that they said at Full Circle event leads you to believe that the Snyderverse can be restored or will be restored? Do you think it should? If you think truly and honestly about it, take your emotion and your love for the Snyderverse out and think like an executive. Think like a studio head. Do you truly believe that they should restore the Snyderverse? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe. Share this with all your friends and family. Trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of May. We're about 120 away. I'd love to hit that mark sooner rather than later. But again, let me know your thoughts on all of this. And with all that said, I'll talk with all of you later.